I really, really love schlocky action movies, so I thought that I was gonna love Beast. You know, it's got all the elements. It's got man versus nature, a father trying to, rekindle his relationship with his two teenage daughters, and it's got really good actors in it, and it looks fantastic, and it sounds good. Otherwise, it's really bad. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Before we get started, click on that red subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you know whenever I post a new piece of content. I try not to spoil most of my movie reviews, and I'm spoiling this movie. I also try really hard not to curse in my reviews. Every now and then I let one slip or do it on purpose. I'm going to curse in this one. I'm not beeping any of this out. This movie is a dog shit trash fire, and nobody should ever watch it. I got the good stuff out of the way in the beginning. Movie looks really good. It's really well filmed. It actually has a pretty decent setup in the beginning for the first like 10 minutes, and then it just all goes off the rails. So here's what sucks about the movie. Everything. The dialogue is probably the worst I've seen in a 2022 movie. This movie came out last year. It's got Idris Elba. It's got Sharlto Copley, South African actor who's amazing. I've been to South Africa. I went there in 2016. I fell in love with it. I would love to go back. The movie really like captures that well in the beginning. And it has this setup. Basically, Idris Elba is an American doctor named Nate who his wife dies of cancer, like terminal cancer, while they're separated. And his daughters, particularly his older daughter, blames him for this. And of course, he blames himself. He blames himself and has lots of regrets about the whole situation. Kind of a cool idea, cool concept, decent setup, and just no payoff whatsoever. Idris Elba is just kind of there. He's just kind of going through the motions. He's a really he can play a really charismatic guy. He's very versatile. He's really funny in the Suicide Squad. Like he's a good actor. I like most of his movies. In this, he's just kind of there and going through the motions, and he's just in this movie to be in the movie because they need a name. The two daughters, I don't know who play them. They give probably two of the worst performances I've ever seen, and a lot of it's due to the dialogue. I'm not going to fault the actresses for that. The dialogue here is just garbage. I'm going to give you a couple examples. They talk constantly, and like during every intense action scene, they just sit there and go, "Dad, what's going on? Dad, what's happening? Oh my God, Dad, what's going on?" He's underneath the truck, and the lion, this like rogue lion, is like clawing his way under the truck trying to get to him. And the daughter, the older daughter, I shit you not, she goes, "Dad, are you okay?" They recorded that in voiceover and put it in the movie. Like somebody made that decision. But the way the movie is like, the way the plot goes, it's almost like their dialogue is just completely ad-libbed. It seems like they're just making it up as they go along. And it's almost like the director just said, okay, I want you the entire time when every other character is doing something or speaking, I want you to ask dumb questions. Dad, what's going on? Dad, what's wrong with this? Dad, what's wrong with that? Dad, why is this happening? And it's the entire time. And that's all they do through the entire movie. And then my favorite piece of dialogue in the entire movie, right? He's trying to rekindle his relationship with his daughters, and that's all well and good. And in the hands of a better director, filmmakers, that might have worked out really well. He's trying to comfort them, and they're in the truck, and I think they had just gotten attacked by a lion for like the 17th time, and he's like, everything's gonna be okay, I promise. A throwaway line, right? But the older daughter, I kid you not, he says, everything's gonna be okay, I promise. And she says, will you promise Mom wouldn't die of cancer? This movie, the dialogue in this movie is so bad. It has every, I guess you could call it like a nature horror film, I guess, with some family drama that doesn't work. And yet, all the characters do the exact same stereotypical dumb horror movie shit that every character in those types of movies do. They, instead of running out the front door and screaming for help, they run upstairs and lock themselves in a bedroom, and then they die because that's what the killer gets them, and that's it. They make every single bad decision. Like, the line is outside the truck, older daughter gets outside of the truck. Why? Like, it doesn't, it's just plot armor, plot armor, plot armor. These people should all be dead in the first 5 minutes of the movie because they make every single wrong decision possible. Yeah, so this movie sucks and I hate it, and you should not watch it. You're welcome. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, if you found it helpful, consider subscribing. You can also like and share it. That tells the powers that be that it's worth promoting. I watched this dumpster fire on Amazon. I'll see you next Wednesday at 9 a.m.